Okay, so yeah, cults. Okay, well, so I was 18, and this is probably meaningful because they probably, probably prey on people who are young and vulnerable at some point. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. So, but I had just dropped out of college. My girlfriend had just broken up with me. It's not the best place. And I was a little bit, needed to relax. Needed to take some time to reflect and just learn how to breathe. And they had these, I was taking some classes part-time at community college and working. And so they had these little flyers around campus, as they do at colleges, and advertising meditation, free, come in, certain time, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, yeah, cool. So, and I was like into the whole, beatnik, writing thing anyway, so I was like, I really need to do some of this because everyone I'm reading is doing this, so I was like, that would be even better. So, so I went one day, and a few other people, random people there, like have no idea what's going on either, and we're just there and we don't know each other, and we're just sitting in this room. And this really nice, pretty attractive woman comes in. She's probably like in her mid-20s, and I'm just like, all right, and she's got that kind of karmic, holistic vibe about her where everything's super calm, and it's almost a little bit creepy how calm everything is. Like she's trying a little bit too hard to be calm, but at the time that was impressive to me because I was like, wow, she's so calm and I'm so not. Maybe I should be like that. Even though there was a certain sort of dissociated feel about it, like maybe she was a little bit off too, but at the time it was kind of appealing to me, or it was just a thing, and I was just like, okay, I'll see where this goes. So, so we started doing the meditation, and it was a really great experience. I mean, meditating is a really useful thing, and so I really enjoyed it, and I understood. I mean, there wasn't anything about the meditation itself that was probably that far out of what other people do when they meditate. It was probably a pretty traditional Zen, quasi-Buddhist meditation, I guess. I mean, they were talking about chakras and things like that, so it seemed pretty legit in that line. Nothing creepy, nothing weird. So and then the meditations were a few times a week, so I started showing up to all of them, and then they became like a few regulars, and no one that I really wanted to like hang out with, but they were there, and we were just all doing our thing, and then after a couple of weeks, okay, so so I think after like 2 or 3 sessions, she would mention that she would start to talk to me in a very complimentary way, which, a 25-year-old attractive woman to me, in my, particularly in my state of mind, was, pretty cool. And, she's like, I just, you really have this wonderful energy about you. And I was like, oh, yeah. Woo-hoo! And I was like, thank you. And she invited me and some other people over to her apartment to do a meditation pizza party. Okay, so whatever. But I was like, okay, like I'm not really doing much else with my life right now. And I really wasn't. So, so I went, and I mean, it was, and we just meditated and ate pizza, not at the same time, but. And it was, it was okay. I really didn't click with the people at the apartment or anything. But I did notice she was into computers. She had a very nice apartment, She had a nice car. She seemed to have a very nice life, and she seemed to be very comfortable. Although at the same time, her overall demeanor seemed like there was something a little bit off, and I wasn't totally comfortable with any of it. But there was also something, I think, about her request for me to go to this apartment party meditation thing that the way she asked was subtly manipulative looking back on it. And I actually felt almost guilty saying no because of the compliments and everything like that. And, you know, I'm kind of like that anyway. So she probably picked up on that. She probably saw me as someone who was pretty easy to manipulate, or she was testing to see. And she was testing to see if there were a couple other people in the class who were easier to manipulate. I'm not sure. So I did go to that one party. And then I think she invited me to a couple others, and I was like, no, I'm not really into it. And then at one point, she invited me to this dinner to see the Rama. And I was like, really, I'm not going to see the Rama. Like, and she's like, but it's amazing. You can go see the Rama, and it's like, you know, especially if you like go camping, like we've gone out to Joshua Tree, and it's like when you're having these meditations with him around, it's like it's like he moves the stars. And I was like, all right, so I learned to meditate. I think I probably do it at home now. Like, you know, taught the fish, the guy to learn how to fish, and now I'll fish on my own, or whatever that, you know, talk about. Oh. Anyway, so so she's like, but no, I really think that this would be good for you because you have so much of a you know, just, I don't know, she was talking about all my innate karmic potential or whatever, you know, she sees it, you can see it, you can see the energy, blah, 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 and I was like, and then, so I said, well, you know, I really, just to make it simple, I can't go to see the Rama, especially because it was at this dinner, and it was at this dinner at the Beverly Hilton, and it cost $100 to see him. First of all, I was not paying $100, right? And then you needed a tuxedo. And so first of all, you know, she's like, it's just $100, you can come and see him, I think it will blow your mind, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, look, I don't have $100. I work at a bookstore, part-time, like, you know. And then she calls me up a couple days later, she's like, okay, I'll pay your way to see the Rama. Which I'm already thinking, okay, she's not paying my way. She probably just, you know, gives me a free pass or something. She's telling me. So now I'm like feeling guilty because she's like, I'm paying for you because I believe so much in you. So, and then, so like, no, I really still can't because I don't have a tuxedo, right? And she's like, well, can't you just rent one? And I was like, I can't even afford to rent one. And and then she's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. A couple days later, she's like, look, I'll pay for the tuxedo. And I was like, don't even worry about it. I don't want to deal with the tuxedo. I'm just not comfortable with the tuxedo thing. I just don't want to. She's like, a couple days later, okay, you don't need to wear a tuxedo. Could you just wear, like, some black pants and a jacket? And I was like, I don't have black pants and a jacket. And at this point, I'm just BSing, and it's like painfully obvious that I'm going to go. She's like, and she's like, look, okay, you can just come in your jeans, just come. I think you'll really like it. I'm just really, really, and at this point, like, okay, I'll go. And it's like this sushi at the Beverly Hilton. Like, what could go wrong, right? So I go, and there's like hundreds of people there, and they're all like with their little meditation teachers, and like you can tell, like this army of people have recruited this whole bigger army of people. They've all been at these colleges all over the place, like gathering people in meditation classes, and all the recruiters, like her, kind of look the same, and then we go into this place, and it was just as Bill Clinton had been elected. So the Rama comes in and he's talking about what a great thing that Bill Clinton had been elected, because Bill Clinton is sympathetic to basically to cults. And I was like, what? And but I was like, whatever, okay. And there's this big thing, buffet of sushi. So I'm like, whatever. I'm here, I'm getting free sushi, right? Is this going too long?
No.
Okay. So anyway, so I'm like, I'm getting the free sushi. So I don't care. There's like lots of sushi. It was really good. So we start eating all this sushi, and I have to like listen to all this stuff. And then he starts to lead this meditation. And like, I'm like freaking out because the room is like totally dissolving, and like it really starts to change. And it was like this deep meditation. And I'm like, is this sushi like drugged? Am I like drugged sushi? Because it was really good. And I'm like in some weird place, like seriously a weird place. Like for the whole night, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I never felt like that before, you know? And I mean, it wasn't like out of control drugged, but it was like at some weird higher plane or something. And I didn't know if there was something in my sushi or what. And I kind of like half remember driving home. And she was upset at the driver in front of us because she was driving us in her fancy car. And then she started telling us about, it was me and some other guy. She started telling us about how she works for the Rama, that she develops computer software, and that he gets all his teachers these jobs. He's a computer software developer, meditation guru, and she has this wonderful life. She makes a lot of money. And he has this wonderful corporation, and they all meditate, and she brings in people that she thinks would be good for the corporation. And sometimes he invites everyone over to his big mansion, and they have big meditation parties, and like she lives a very happy life. And, she hopes that we will keep coming. And I was, totally freaked out. And I just ignored all her calls after that. I don't know if I was drugged or what. And then I found a few months later or something, my best friend at this time, magazine at his mom's house or something. I was like flipping through it, and there was this thing on cults. And one of the guys was one of the guys. The software guru or something.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's pretty cool. So that was my experience.